All right, folks, get ready for a deep dive. We're going to break down a Premier League matchup that's got all the makings of a real nail-biter. Ipswich Town versus the mighty Chelsea, coming up on December 30th.
Definitely a David and Goliath kind of clash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Late in the season, and both teams are fighting for completely different things here.
Absolutely. You got Chelsea stacked with talent. They're aiming for that title.
Right.
And then you've got Ipswich. They just got promoted, and they're just scrapping to stay in the Premier League.
So let's set the scene a little bit. As we head into this match, where are these two teams sitting in the league table?
So right now you've got Chelsea sitting pretty comfortably, all things considered, in third place.
Okay.
They're right there in the mix for the title. It's a tight race.
Right.
Ipswich, well, they're down there 19th, and they're staring relegation right in the face.
It's not looking good for them, and to add insult to injury, their home record at Portman Road this season has been, well, how do we put this nicely?
Yeah, pretty dismal. They haven't managed a single win at home all season.
And not a single one.
Nope.
That's rough.
Not the kind of momentum you want heading into a match against a giant like Chelsea.
No, it's like inviting a tiger over for tea.
Right.
But let's dig into Ipswich's struggles a bit more.
Yeah.
Offensively, they've only managed to put 12 goals in the back of the net all season.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, on the other hand, they've already scored 38 goals.
It's a big difference.
It's a huge gap in firepower.
It's not just the numbers, though.
Okay.
They haven't really been able to create those really clear-cut good chances.
Right.
And even when they do manage to get into a good position, they're just not finishing.
Not clinical, Don.
Not clinical, yeah. And injuries haven't helped.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Especially some of their key attacking players have been
So
out.
it's more than just like a lack of big-name stars.
Right.
It's missing those players who can, like, you know, unlock defenses, make things happen in the final third.
Exactly. The guys who can make something out of nothing.
Right. Exactly.
But, you know, we shouldn't write them off entirely.
Okay.
Remember, they pulled off that crazy upset earlier this season against Manchester City.
They did.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, they might be down, but they're clearly not out.
Not out yet.
Remind me about that Man City match. What did Ipswich do to pull off a shocker like that?
Their pressing that day, it was just phenomenal. I mean, they were all over City's midfielders.
Real.
Didn't give them a second to breathe, forced them into mistake after mistake, and won the ball back high up the pitch time and time again.
Wow. It sounds like a masterclass in organized chaos.
You could say that. Yeah, absolutely.
So they kind of turned Man City's strength, that possession-based game, into a weakness.
Yeah, they really did.
That's pretty impressive.
It was a real tactical triumph. And they're going to need to pull off something similar if they want to get anything out of this match against Chelsea.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Chelsea. They are title contenders, but they are coming off a surprising loss to Fulham. What happened there?
Yeah.
Was it just a blip, or are there some deeper concerns starting to creep in?
I think that Fulham match was a bit of a wake-up call.
Okay.
I mean, Fulham's pressing game, very similar to what Ipswich did against City.
Right.
Exposed some real weaknesses in that Chelsea midfield. They couldn't build out from the back the way they like to.
Oh, okay.
Their creative players were stifled, really taken out of the game.
So more than just a bad day at the office then?
Yeah, I'd say so. They need to learn some tactical lessons from that defeat.
Some adjustments need to be made.
For sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, it showed that if you press them high, force them into those quick decisions,
Right.
they can get rattled.
Yeah.
And with Liverpool pulling away at the top of the table,
Oh, yeah.
that loss puts even more pressure on them to bounce back.
Right. Yeah. At this point in the season, every point is absolutely crucial.
Absolutely.
They can't afford another slip up.
No.
But let's look back a little bit.
Yeah.
Chelsea has an absolutely dominant record against Ipswich.
Oh, yeah, it's not even a contest, really.
Okay.
Chelsea haven't lost to Ipswich in over a decade.
Wow.
And the last time they played, Chelsea won 7-0.
7-0.
Yeah,
That's got to be haunting Ipswich's dreams.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
But, you know, as they say, every match is a new opportunity.
Right. And even though Chelsea are the clear favorites here,
Oh, yeah.
history doesn't always repeat itself.
Never does.
We've seen those underdog stories play out before.
All the time.
Maybe this is one for the books.
Maybe.
What are some of the factors that could make this match a little bit more competitive than people are expecting?
Well, I think, you know, we talked about Chelsea being vulnerable to that pressing style.
Right, right.
If Ipswich can execute their game plan, disrupt that Chelsea midfield, cause some chaos,
Yeah.
especially early on, who knows what could happen.
Yeah, it's like those classic giant killing stories you hear. The smaller team, fueled by passion, desperation, takes down the Giants.
Exactly. And don't forget about the pressure Chelsea's under.
Right.
They need this win, not just for the points,
Yeah.
but to kind of reassert their dominance after that Fulham loss.
Right.
Pressure can lead to mistakes, and those mistakes are what a team like Ipswich can capitalize on.
So you're thinking this might be more than just a routine win for Chelsea?
I think it could be, yeah.
All right, I'm starting to see it now.
Good.
It's a clash of styles, a clash of ambitions.
It's a clash of pressures.
For sure. So now let's talk about some of the players who could be the difference makers in this one, who are the key figures to watch out for in this showdown.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so who are some of those players we should be keeping an eye on?
Well, for Ipswich, I'm really interested to see what Liam Delap could do up front.
Oh, yeah. He's an exciting young player.
He is, and going up against a defense like Chelsea's, that's a real test.
Absolutely.
But his off-ball movement, it's exceptional.
What makes it so good?
It's not just about speed, It's about intelligence, timing.
Okay.
He just seems to ghost into the box, find these little pockets of space that defenders just don't see.
Almost like a sixth sense for where the ball's going to end up.
Exactly, yeah. And when he gets that chance, he's a very composed finisher, not afraid to take on defenders.
Okay.
And he's got a powerful shot, can really trouble any keeper.
So if Ipswich wants to have any chance in this game, they got to get Delap involved.
Got to feed the ball, yeah.
Make him the focal point.
Yeah, but it's not just about Delap either.
Right.
The midfield, they need to be creative.
Yeah.
Find ways to unlock that Chelsea defense, give them those chances.
Give him some service.
Exactly.
And on the other side, for Chelsea, it's hard to ignore the impact that Cole Palmer has had this season.
Oh, he's been phenomenal.
He really has.
Pulling the strings in midfield, scoring goals, setting up his teammates.
What makes him so special?
Well, he's kind of the complete midfielder, vision, passing.
Right.
And then he pops up in the box to score goals.
It's like he's the conductor, and then suddenly he's the soloist.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
But it's not just the attack.
Right.
Works his tail off defensively, tracking back, winning tackles.
A true box-to-box midfielder.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, if Ipswich wants to disrupt Chelsea, gotta find a way to contain Palmer.
Gotta stop him from running the show.
Absolutely.
He's the engine for that Chelsea team.
So we've talked about some of the key players.
Yeah.
Let's get into the tactical side of things a bit.
All right.
What kind of approach do you think Ipswich is going to take in this match?
That's the big question.
Are they going to park the bus, try to just defend for their lives?
I don't think they can just sit back and absorb pressure for 90 minutes.
Okay.
Chelsea's just got too much quality. They'll find a way through eventually.
So maybe a more proactive approach?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
They'll probably try to replicate what they did against Man City.
Oh, okay.
And high-energy pressing, disrupt Chelsea's build-up, force turnovers.
But doesn't that leave them open to the counterattack? Oh, absolutely. It's a risk.
Chelsea's got some speedsters.
They do, but I think for Ipswich, the reward might outweigh the risk here.
Gotta take some chances.
They do, yeah. Gotta try and unsettle Chelsea, make them uncomfortable.
Can't just hope to survive. They gotta believe they can win.
Exactly.
It's a bit of a high-wire act.
It is too much aggression, and they get caught out.
Right.
Too passive, and they just get overwhelmed.
It's finding that balance.
Yeah, that sweet spot where they can disrupt Chelsea without leaving themselves completely exposed.
And a lot of that's going to fall on the midfielders.
Yeah, they're the key.
Can they win those battles, track those Chelsea runners, and then transition quickly from defense to attack?
That's the challenge.
Big ask.
It is.
So let's say, they manage to disrupt Chelsea, win the ball back in midfield.
Yeah.
What then? They still got to get the ball to Delap, create those chances.
Right. And that's where those wide players come in.
Okay.
They need to stretch that Chelsea defense, provide the width, and then deliver those crosses into the box. Okay, so it's like a pincer movement.
Yeah.
Pressure in the middle, and then those wide players delivering the knockout blows.
I like it.
Sounds good on paper, but can they actually pull it off?
Well, Chelsea's defense, it's not exactly a pushover.
No, they've got world-class players back there.
They do. Experienced, composed.
Right.
But they have shown some weaknesses this season.
Well, okay.
Especially against teams that are quick and direct.
Okay.
And Ipswich, with Delap and those pacey wingers, that's kind of their style.
So it's about forcing those mistakes, putting them under constant pressure.
Absolutely. Can't give them a second to think.
All right, so we've got Ipswich, the underdog, looking to disrupt, create that chaos.
Yep.
And then you've got Chelsea, the favorite, trying to control, impose their will.
Classic clash of styles.
It is, but let's throw another wrinkle into this tactical puzzle.
Okay.
Chelsea's manager has hinted at some lineup changes for this match.
Interesting.
What do you make of that? Lineup changes, that's always interesting. What do you think is going on there?
Yeah, it could be a few things, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, maybe a little bit of concern there after that loss to Fulham.
Right.
Not totally confident in the usual starting 11.
Like, all right, guys, got to see a little more fire, a little more urgency.
Exactly. But it could also be strategic,
Okay.
Thinking ahead, Ipswich is going to press us high, so let's counter that with some fresh legs.
Okay, some players who are hungry to prove themselves.
Yeah, guys who are ready to run.
So almost like a preemptive strike.
Yeah, you could say that.
Don't just react to what Ipswich does, dictate the game from the start.
And Chelsea's got that depth.
Oh, yeah?
World-class players on the bench just waiting for their chance.
It's a good problem to have.
It is, and these changes, they could really inject some new energy, some unpredictability.
Okay, so we've got the tactical battle. We've got potential lineup changes. Lots to think about.
Definitely.
But let's bring it back to our listener for a second.
Okay.
They're at home, maybe got a cup of tea, getting ready to watch this match.
Hopefully something stronger.
What are some of the key things they should be looking out for?
Well, I think those first 15, 20 minutes are going to be crucial.
Okay.
Sets the tone for the whole match.
Right.
Does Ipswich come out flying, pressing high, making Chelsea uncomfortable?
Right.
Or does Chelsea weather that storm, take control, start to dictate the tempo?
So it's that initial feeling out process.
Yeah, exactly.
Both teams trying to establish themselves early.
Yeah, and then watch that midfield battle.
Oh, yeah, that's always key.
Can Ipswich match Chelsea's intensity, that creativity?
Right.
Or does Chelsea's experience, their quality, just take over?
You know what they say? Games are won and lost in the midfield.
Cliche, but true.
And then, of course, got to keep an eye on Liam Delap.
Oh, yeah, the danger man.
Can they get him the service he needs? Can he find those pockets of space?
He's their main goal threat. If he's quiet, it's hard to see Ipswich getting anything out of this.
So many things to watch for, but let's get down to it.
Oh.
Prediction time. What's your gut feeling? Who's walking away with 3 points?
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
All right, I like it.
I think this is going to be a much closer match than people expect.
Okay.
Chelsea's the favorite, of course.
Right.
But Ipswich, they've got that tactical blueprint, and they are desperate.
Yeah.
They need those points.
They need them bad.
I think it can make this a real battle.
Ooh, a bold prediction. I like it. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance.
Ipswich could pull off the upset.
You never know. Look at Leicester City a few years back. Nobody thought they could win the title.
True. And this Ipswich team, they have that same kind of underdog spirit.
They do.
That belief that they can defy the odds.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm sold. I'm going to be watching this one with a whole new level of anticipation.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
Thanks to your insights.
My pleasure. That's what we do here at the Deep Dive.
Absolutely.
We give you the knowledge, the analysis, different perspectives.
Right.
So you can watch the game and really understand what's going on. Like having your own expert commentator right there with you.
Exactly.
So enjoy the match. Soak it all in. We'll be back next time to break down all the action.
That's it for this deep dive, folks. We'll catch you next time for another exciting journey into the world of football.